this at some point in the future. That could encompass all of those things.
That's a good point. Yeah, before us tonight is really choosing the bid program, but I think it does raise that question of how we can look at this for the future. Right? Other questions about?
It appears, do we want to spend $10,231 to save each homeowner $847? You'd have to have 12 participants for the village, the utility to break even.
Right.
Worth doing, and our history doesn't support that expenditure, just spending money.
That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, I don't know. At this point, until we get the participation up or some indication.
Do you want to make a motion?
Yeah, I would make a motion to, I would make a motion to award a contract to UPI for the 2019 Woodburn Water Main Relay Base Bid and alternate 1 and 2 to UPI LLC in the total amount of $448,538.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. 9B, consider award of contract for 2019 alley reconstruction project. This is also the 4th meeting that we've discussed this item. Before us tonight, we have a memo. Is there anything you'd like to call our attention to?
Just another explanation of the difference in the base bid and the alternate. The base bid included all of the alleys that were previously presented to you by Sigma back in October of last year. 2 of them are green alleys, as described. The alternative removed 1 alley section in case we had some issues with fitting it in the budget. Then that would provide you some flexibility to not have to throw out all the bids, but to award a contract that would be within the budgeted amount. But that is not an issue.
I move to award a contract for the 2019 alley reconstruction program to Always Contractors with a base bid in the amount of $632,669.08.
Second.
80 cents.
Second. Any discussion? Trustee Mentor?
A question on the second bullet, 4,000 block North Wilson and North Woodburn. It's Woodburn isn't next to Wilson. Is that Woodburn on the Larkin side?
That's that odd-shaped alley that kind of does an S. So when you're describing the east and the west, it is Woodburn, but you wouldn't,
Behind
that
that.
wouldn't
you mean
seem
down,
obvious.
down.
Just north of Capitol, yeah.
Okay,
it
okay,
does that
I see.
odd jog.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make sense because Woodburn's over here, Wilson's over there.
Any other comments or discussion? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion on the floor, say aye.
Aye.
Make the motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries 6-0. Item 9C, consider project manager contract for AMI project. This is the 3rd meeting we discussed this, and there is information in our packet. And let's see, is there anything that you would like to call our attention to or any questions from the board this time? Seeing none?
I would make a motion to approve a professional service agreement with City Water in the amount of $31,826 for the water meter replacement, RFP development, and project implementation.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6-0. Item 9D, update on recycling center dropout operations. This is the 2nd meeting that we discussed this, and we have an update. So, in our packet, Yeah.
So pretty much this is gonna encompass two things. We're gonna provide a, we can do a picture of a new
Yes.
container.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Oh,
Well, that's what
yeah.
gets me excited, but, and then we're also gonna be working on some additional signage.
Yeah.
And so the recommendation, I really wanna thank Leanne for going through, she's been coordinating the communication with Josh Levator and with waste management and kind of working with both of those, Josh representing conservation, kind of those teams and trying to find a solution that might be palatable. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's to try this and monitor for the next couple months and then come back with another update.
And waste management is not easy to get a hold of, so that really is, it's an understatement
I
to
know.
say, good job.
Thank you.
Are we seeing a drop off in the volume at the drop here now that we have the carts and everything, or much of a
No.
change? No, not really.
Well, no, the weights are fairly similar. They may be dropping slightly, but in volume, this is very popular for cardboard.
Okay. Great.
That's the word.
Just kind of trying to figure out how to ask this question, but looking at the diagram, is it gonna be easy to get materials into those slots? I mean, I'm 5'6" and I have trouble even getting it, even tossing stuff over the lid, sometimes hard for me. I just wanna make sure that we're not setting up a situation in which people are, contorting themselves to try to get.
We do have the stairs, which we can keep or modify. We'll have to, we'll make some adjustments if we need to. Yeah, if that looks like it's going to be an issue, what we may then do is look at either modifying that stair deck or, keeping the stair deck, lowering the railing. We'll.
Okay.
Do you need a focus group of volunteers?
All
I'm just
right.
saying, if you find that you do, please reach out. We don't want to delay anything quickly.
Right.
All right, any other comments before we move on? All right, I'm sure everybody will say thank you. You're right, it is. Would anybody else like to say thank you?
Thank
Thank you. Thanks for doing
All right, item 9E, consider resolution 2019-05 to proclaim World Migratory Bird Day in Shorewood on October 5th, 2019.
I would make a motion to approve the adoption of resolution 2019-05, proclaiming October 5th, 2019 as International Migratory Bird Day in the village of Shorewood.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say
That's roll call.
It is a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Don't try to throw me off.
Aye.
Trustee Ward.
Aye.
Trustee Bachhorst.
Yes.
Trustee Macher.
Yes.
Trustee Amanda.
Yes.
Trustee McKay.
Yes. All right, moving on, item 10, reports of village officials. Village president is not here. Village trustees.
You want to go first?
Sure, I had a couple of there. Shorewood moving forward is sponsoring a community potluck on the 24th, on Sunday, I think, noon to 2:30. And it's just sort of a general get-together, and you'll have to go to their Facebook page and event to see like what you're supposed to bring. I don't remember, but I think it'll be a really neat event, and they're doing some great things with that group. So there was an email included in the packet with my comments on the survey, and I was joking around. I wasn't expecting my email to Tyler, I was making like a joke to Tyler and my comments, so I just want to clarify that the comments that are at the very end of my email were jokes.
It was funny.
I wasn't expecting and I'm sure it'll come up again to haunt me sometime. And I just want to report to, a number of us were at the meeting from Waste, the meeting that, the movie that the Conservation Committee did. It was very, very well attended. They were originally showing a movie about a woman trying to live without creating waste, but that didn't work, so then they had to show one of these really, I had to leave, it was too depressing, but, you know, plastic and birds and stuff, I know.
Oh.
But I was surprised at the attendance for, you know, a February day, and it just really shows the intensity of feeling in our community for these kinds of issues, so I just wanted to put that on.
Thank you. Mike?
Trustee Bachor?
Sorry. A couple of things. Tomorrow is League Lobby Day in Madison, and a couple of updates. For those of you who can't attend, feel free if you want me to bring something along to present to our legislators in favor of, number one, closing the dark store loophole, Walgreens, which we have a lot more momentum now on that, and it's looking very promising. The governor has agreed to sign that if it comes to his desk. And there's a lot of Republican sponsorship, which should help facilitate the movement through our state legislature. We're also asking for levy limit adjustments, so restoring some of the inflammation floor and making other adjustments to the levy limit designed to give relief to slow and no-growth communities. So instead of, you know, tying everything to net new development, et cetera, there would be other options for communities. And then finally, our third big push for this session is transportation funding and supporting adequate and sustainable funding at the state and local for the state and local transportation system. And then we also have another item, which is really curious because we are having our board meeting. I had to reschedule our league board meeting to that day because of the cold. Well, now it looks like Mother Nature is really not too happy with us. And I also had to cancel my DC trip, which was to legislate in DC for stuff. But anyway, we're going to hold the meeting tomorrow and hopefully people can attend. But we have a special presentation from the Public Policy Forum. It's now the Wisconsin Policy Forum. And we are going to be aggressively looking at alternate state funding mechanisms instead of relying so heavily on property taxes. In Wisconsin, we're really behind the times as far as our reliance on property taxes. And now, especially as we've seen with, you know, not only the dark stores and, you know, big boxes taking advantage of that and trying to shift the burden onto, you know, residential property owners. But, we're fortunately, hopefully we get that close, but until then also, or concurrently, we can look at ways to you know, give a lot more relief to us as residents. And so I promised that I would not tell you guys or anyone in advance of the meeting tomorrow, because of course there's going to be ballots and everything else going on, but I will have something to report on that, so that's exciting. Let's see. I think that's all I have, other than a slew of personal things that I'm sure you'd all be very interested in. We'll talk about that some other time.
Thank you.
All right, wrap
Trustee
it up.
Warren, Trustee Carpenter, any updates?
I would just second trustee Emmett on the movie on Friday night. So it was incredibly well attended. I think that was during the height of the polar vortex as well.
Ooh.
And it certainly gave, the polar vortex or a storm, I can't
It was
remember.
cold, it was cold, I remember that.
Yeah, it made you look at plastics in a whole different way.
Yeah.
And recycling the plastics and
Yeah.
what that entails.
I even bought a bottle of milk this week instead of, you know, so I.
Did you? So it produced
Yeah,
that change of
nobody
behavior.
likes milk.
All right, well, we'll continue this discussion.
I do have another important update.
Okay.
I
How
forget.
important? On a scale of 1 to 5, how important?
It's very important.
Okay.
So just so you're probably aware that, you know, we spent a lot of time discussing decriminalization of marijuana. We agreed that it was going to go on items on the committee level for discussion. And lo and behold, the governor is also proposing a very similar measure. However, it still has to pass at the, you know, through the state legislature, which is giving incredible amounts of pushback. So to that point, just wanted to say as an update, it's imperative that we continue our efforts because the more municipalities that work together to push the state, you know, that's something we can do. Thank you.
I believe it will be scheduled for March 4th.
Yay.
In committee. All right, there was a Human Relations Commission scheduled for meeting for last Thursday. There was no quorum, so there is no report. All right, moving on, village manager.
I do have just one report, wanted to update everybody that, when you get 45 inches of snow within less than 30 days, that results in Lot C filling up. So we anticipate that after this upcoming snowfall, and as our crews continue to remove, that lot will be full. Our Assistant Director Colsey did reach out to the city of Milwaukee and we're waiting to hear a response from them as to whether they would be willing to allow us room to dump in the location that we had identified with them. But also just want to make you aware that we continue to receive a number of different complaints and issues relative to how snow is in the downtown business district. So I wanted to share with you a couple of things so that you could be armed with some facts in terms of how we deal with that. And Leanne, you can jump in at any time. So many times when we're dealing with snow and the amounts that we've gotten, we push it from the parking areas into specific spots. And then as I'm sure you've seen, we go on and then, bucket that up and then take it off to a different location. Because of some of the dynamics that just occur with this mass amount of snow, some of the piles that you see are private, some of that you see are public, but know that with the exception of garbage that has been being picked up, everyone has been out doing snow removal every single day, with the exception of getting those roads